Research by the Global Web Index revealed that 63.8% of the world's population uses social media on a daily basis. And that broke down to an average of 2 hours and 19 minutes per day through October 2024.
Social media is blowing up.
And that prompted the question for this episode. Is social media ruining running?
That's a good question.
Welcome, friends. My name is Devin, and this is the RVA Running Man podcast. My podcast cover all topics related to recreational running, sports, and fitness. If you'd like to check out some of my previous content, you can find me anywhere you get your podcasts or your YouTube content or social media in general. Just search for RVA Running Man podcast, and you should be able to find me. I definitely would love you along my journey. As I opened up today, the topic that I wanted to discuss is one that I think comes up a lot, is about social media. And is social media ruining running? So I did some Googling this week, and I came across this statistic, which I found really interesting, which kind of spawned this conversation and led me down like the Google rabbit hole. And this is from smartinsights.com. Recent data reveals that some key statistics about social media and running. There are over 4.6 billion global users, with most spending more than 2 hours daily on social media. Many users access platforms via mobile devices, and a significant portion of social media purchases now occurs on mobile as well. Particular platforms like TikTok, which leads in downloads and engagement among younger demographics. So it's no hiding that social media is becoming more involved in a lot of our lives as it pertains to each and every aspect, that from your job to your home life, and is becoming a critical way that we actually communicate with one another.
Last I checked, communication is key to understanding.
So the question again this episode is, how does that tie into running? I believe that there are different ways that social media can be both negative and can be positive for both seasoned and new runners alike. All right, so we're gonna look at some of the negative things. So the first negative thing that I believe social media introduces to anyone that uses it as a resource, as a runner or a person that's doing any type of fitness, is comparison. The people that you find on social media, if you're looking at profiles, if you're looking at websites, wherever you're going, do not compare your situation with others, or don't compare your looks, your progress with other people. And I think that's a hard thing for some people to not do when they go out there and search and go down that rabbit hole, seeing someone trying to do something doing something that you want to do. One thing to take into consideration is social media is so heavily edited. The clips that you're seeing is the polished versions of the person, or polished version of the website, or polished versions of the training that you're looking up. So again, make sure that you're not comparing yourself or using that person's experience for your own, because it can be completely different. So comparisons is one negative.
Noted.
All right, and the second negative thing I wanted to talk about is scammers. Unfortunately, in this day and age, there are a bunch of people out there that's trying to get your money, trying to get your personal data. A red flag is if you're talking back and forth with someone and you receive a DM and they're asking you to sign up for this, that, and the other, asking for more personal data of yours, your information, or your credit card number. Do your due diligence before you share any personal information. Unfortunately, there are a lot of bad actors out there, and if you're not careful, you can get burnt. So beware of scammers and any type of information that you get offline that you want to use. Check a couple of resources before you use it, just to make sure things are legit. Just be careful.
Stay behind me, scammers.
And the third negative thing that social media can do is cause people to set unrealistic goals. So it is fun to see the end results of people's journeys. So like, you go out there and you're looking at different people's account and seeing them finishing marathons, seeing them finishing 10Ks, and seeing the happiness on their face. And they may tell you, well, I trained for this in 12 weeks. You know your body. You're the only person to know you. Do not let someone else's experience cause you to set a goal that's too ambitious. Set realistic goals that's adequate for your skill set, adequate for your fitness level. Do not let social media put you in a bad spot, because if you set an unrealistic goal, that's setting you up to set yourself back. All right, and this fourth one I think is really big. It's injuring yourself due to remixes and challenges. So let me explain. There are people out there that, you know, you go on social media, they're like, it's like a fad every second. Some type of dance, some type of pose, some type of music that's out that people are trying to capture that moment. If you're out there on the trail, or you're out there trying to run, doing some of these type of things to get clicks and capturing the moment, you're gonna open yourself up to injury. So prime example, me. This happened to me like 2 months ago. I tried to get a live shot of myself out on the trail, had my phone up doing the video, and I hit a root, and I barrel rolled like 4 different times. It was impressive, honestly. I mean, I really was impressed with myself. It was like a movie barrel roll. But yes, I barrel rolled just for you folks, trying to get a snapshot of myself on the trail. So social media can cause a person to do that if they're not paying attention. And again, I was guilty of it. Another thing is, you have a lot of people out there that are doing things like running in heels, running in like full boots with like weights on their backs and things like that. Those people specifically train to do things like that. I wouldn't suggest anyone do it, but if you go out there trying to mimic those same things just to try to get, you know, clicks on your account, or clicks on your site, or on your social media, you're opening yourself up to getting injured.
Multiple injuries.
All right, so the last negative thing I'm going to talk about that social media can potentially bring to a person that uses it as a resource is addiction. So, I mean, just be transparent and real. Social media can be really, really addictive. You can find yourself going down that next video rabbit hole. And I think a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. Is how many times have you been scrolling through a feed and saying, okay, I'm going to just look at this video, and after that video, you get, you know, suggested another one, and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna look at another one, and I'm just gonna look at 2 more. Before you know it, you done spent like a good solid hour just going down that next video rabbit hole. And unfortunately, for a person that's trying to start running and trying to do their research or whatever, you can start off with, you know, how to run, and in, you know, 45 minutes later with looking at the next trailer for the next action movie. So again, I think it can be a gateway into just furthering that already implanted addiction that I think a lot of people have. So social media can be addictive, and that's a really, really negative part of if you're using that as a resource for running. All right, so now that I went through the negative things, let me mention some positive things that social media introduced for anyone using it as a resource for running. For one, community. If you're using social media, there are different communities out there. Strava, for one, is one. Facebook has plenty of them out there. TikTok, every platform that IG, every platform that's out there, you can find a running group or fitness group within those communities that can help keep you motivated and keep you moving along, and share different resources with you to help you improve your fitness level. Let's say that you wanted to, you know, get some information from them as far as, you know, where to run at or where to work out. Definitely, like if you're out of town, I've used that to find like different courses, different people that are out there that are published information out there. So again, using social media as a resource to connect with people within your fitness community is a really good use of social media. So the second positive thing that I believe social media introduced to anyone on their fitness journey, which is my favorite, is you're able to see the world through the lens of other people's experience. I'm a strong believer that running, and this is why I love running, you're able to see the world in such a way that you can't see in a car, you can't see in a plane, you can't see in a train. It can be inspirational. It can be inspiring to a person that sees someone else's experience out in nature, out in the snow, out on the trail, out on a country road. Seeing things like that for me keeps me going, because, you know, I love seeing things like that, and I love those experiences. And I think Seeing that through other people's lens, I may not necessarily be able to run in Australia, but seeing that beauty, seeing that person being one with nature is motivational for me. And I believe that's a positive thing that most people can take away from the running experience. And that's positive to experience that through social media. And the last positive thing that I think social media can offer, if done properly, is you can get tons of information offline. You can get nutrition, you can get fitness, you can get valuable information offline that can help you get a leg up on getting started or staying motivated or getting better. Different places that you can check just to make sure the information is legit. You can test out that information, see whether it works for you. If it doesn't, you can switch it up. But again, social media, if used properly, you can get the right information for you to be successful as a runner or as a person that's trying to improve your fitness.
I can learn anything.
So going back to the question, is social media ruining running? I think that comes down to the person. As much as that sounds like a cop-out, no two people uses social media for the same thing. If you're out there just getting certain tips that you need to get to the next level, you're doing your due diligence, as I've been saying throughout this episode, I think you'll be fine. If you're already kind of struggling with maybe social media as an addiction, or social media taking you down certain paths that are not necessarily right for you, then yeah, I think it could be a problem for you. But ultimately, I believe if you're being careful, you're doing your due diligence, I think it can be a good thing. I believe that social media, the one big positive that I mentioned in this episode is the community aspect, and that's what it's really all about, is bringing us together in the community for mutual benefit to get where we need to go. I think engagement can foster accountability, but on the same token, it's also important to disconnect from time to time to make sure that you're clearing your head. So even me, from time to time, I disconnect when I go out on my runs. I will leave my phone at home. I will leave my smartwatch at home, and I'm going out there and running and being one with nature. And sometimes I can have some of the best runs that I've ever had, just not being connected, because again, I have a chance to just be one with myself, one with my thoughts, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So regardless of how you're planning on using social media, make sure that you're disconnecting to get back to what's important, and that's actually your fitness, which is the key, is making sure that you're healthy. So in my eyes, ultimately, social media is only a hindrance if you allow it to be. So don't allow it to be. Just embrace it if you can. If you can't, let it go and continue on. The most important thing is that your fitness is improving and you're accomplishing the goal that you set out to do. So thanks again, guys, for joining this episode. If you want to connect with me more, want more content, please visit my website, which is www.rvarunman.com. Or again, you can search for me on anywhere on social media. It's the episode we're talking about, under RVA Running Man, and you should be able to find me. I hope you guys are being safe out there on the roads and trails and in your fitness journey. Until I talk to you again, I hope you guys are safe and happy. I'll talk to you later. Peace.